Hello and welcome to the Cup of Triathlon podcast. We're brought to you every week by our sponsors, oxygenetic.com.
Triathlon coaching with Coach Rob.
We are bikehouse.co.uk.
For all your cycling needs.
And triathlonbox.co.uk.
To keep everything neat in transition.
And what a weekend of racing we have just had. It has been super duper for all kinds of reasons, hasn't it? Both close to the show's heart and also because of triathlon racing in general. So first up, we have to ask the wonderful Helen Murray. We have to say congratulations on your performance at Ironman UK.
Thanks.
How are you feeling?
Sleep deprived, buzzing, sore everywhere, hobbling, happy.
Well, listen, I want to do an interview with you as part of our today's show so everyone can hear all about your race report.
Okay.
So we'll do that as a kind of separate section later on. You can be our interview of the day because, boy, it was exciting standing at the roadside yesterday. I think it takes a special kind of individual like me to be excited at standing at the roadside in Bolton for about 7 hours.
No, I think there were a lot of people loving being on the roadside in Bolton yesterday.
Yeah, it was good.
Honestly,
it was a good race, wasn't it? What a great atmosphere.
The atmosphere was incredible. I really didn't think it would be that good. And the run course, apart from the first 6 miles, there was so much support. All the way up and down that road. Then when you hit the town centre, it's ace. And then on the bike as well, yeah, there's lonely parts, but you can't have, crowds 5 deep, can you? All the way around a 112-mile course or whatever. But yeah, going up both hills was great. I'd say Hunter's Hill actually was the best one.
Awesome. That's a little bit more accessible, isn't it, Hunter's? The sheep house is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, let's go over our pro race results first.
Yep.
And then I want to get later on is a Helen's eye view of the course.
Yeah, fine.
So at the front of the race, I think we're gonna break with tradition here and talk about the ladies' race first, because there was what can only be described as a domination by the wonderful Lucy Gossage.
Obviously I didn't see her at all, but just so good to come away with it's her third win there, isn't it?
It is 3 in a row, yeah. Did you see her on the course at all?
Yeah, I shouted at her twice.
Pick her out
Shouted at
through
her.
the jolly
Twice.
good. She was in the zone, man. Lucy is totally focused when she's racing, isn't she?
Yeah.
I think I must have seen her about 20 times on the run course, and the only time she even broke to make eye contact was on that very last stretch with a couple of 100 meters to go when she knew she had it in the bag. She was completely zen the whole day.
Wow. I did yell at she did smile across when I yelled at her.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, wow. I've seen photos of her on her Speedy Boardman bike. She did a 5:15 bike split. She had a really good swim as well, a 56-minute swim. I think she's been working her backside off in the pool. And then, Rob, a 3:08 run on that course.
The 3:08 run is super impressive, but even more impressive than that is the 5:15 on the bike, I think, because it represents a step change, doesn't it, from her biking last time. Although having said that, Torsten predicted her 5:18 on the bike, so she's gone a little bit faster than was predicted. But man, that is a quick time on that bike course.
So quick. She was 5 minutes faster than anyone else in that pro field. And her and Tina Decker's they were miles ahead on that bike course, because Katja Konchak did a 5:53. And Alyssa Godesky did a 5:57. So it just shows how tough it is. And I guess on one hand, obviously, Lucy has won there twice previously. She knows the course. That's obviously beneficial. But 5:15 is blinking awesome.
It is, and it was like, 20 minutes down on the lead pro male times as well, which puts in perspective, I think.
Yeah.
The delta that we usually talk about is more like 30 minutes. That's an exceptionally good ride from her. And like you said, an exceptionally good swim as well. 56 minutes when the lead pro lady was out of the water in 54 minutes. That's massively different to last year, isn't it?
Yeah, brilliant.
Do you remember what did she swim last year? Can you remember?
I could probably... Oh, yes. There you go. 59 swim last year.
Oh, there we go.
5:22 bike. And okay, she ran faster last year. She did a 3:03. But yeah, I still think anything anything around 305, 310 on that run course is
very, very good.
Super impressive.
And it's 15 klim, and it's faster than the next female pro, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
And Tina Deckers is no slouch. Let's not forget, she is seriously talented professional.
Yeah, exactly. And to give you some, just again, to put Lucy's result in perspective, she was 10th overall in the race.
Yeah.
Her bike split, Fraser Cartmell did 5:12 on the bike, Patrick Evo 5:10, Harry Wiltshire 5:11.
Yeah, so she's had an absolutely storming ride, hasn't she?
Yeah.
So happy for her. I think she only made the decision to race a few days before the race, from what I've read online. And it'd be great if this marks her kind of the stamp on the end of, like, I've been injured.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that'd be...
That's her at Kona, isn't it, now? With a win here, and was it second that she got over in New Zealand?
Yes, I think it was. I think that is right. Yeah.
That's got to be her at Kona now, for sure.
I think, hadn't she already got it? I'm sure she...
Of course she had, yeah, because she was in the top 10 last year, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course.
We got a tweet in from @WelshSquiz, who said, watching Lucy cross that finish line was awesome. She looked like she could go and do it again.
She does have that thing about her that she looks effortless on the run. She's in total flow, isn't she? She's bouncing along like the Duracell bunny.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, having stood at the roadside for 7 hours yesterday, there weren't many people who looked like that as they came running by.
No, it did look a bit more emotional for her this year. I think it looks like there were tears when she crossed the line, and quite rightly, because she said, Paul Kay, who's the announcer, he said, love watching your passion ooze out of every pore. I just think, and she said, today I raced with passion, perhaps more than ever before. Incredible support from so many people. Thank you. Over the moon to win Ironman UK again.
Awesome stuff.
So, yeah, brilliant.
Well done, Lucy. Loving it.
So, Rob, do we just...
get on the phone to her after this and see if we can get her on?
Oh, that'd be really cool. I think a lot of people would like to hear her on. So, Rob, in the women's race then, if I just give you the results. So, Lucy Gossage won in 9:26. Tina Deckers of Belgium second in 9:45. Now, I think that gets her to Kona. Tina.
Yeah.
And then Katja Konchak of Germany was third in 10:13.
Cool stuff. Over on the men's side of the race, well, we had quite an exciting run going on. I was about a mile out of T2, standing on the roadside watching this happen, and Romain Guillaume came tearing by, and he was in my head. I was thinking he's the pre-race favourite here. I think the way he's been going, and I shouted out to him, "How you doing, man?" And he's like, "Oh, not good. I feel terrible. I've been sick," and his face was just caked in salt.
Oh no!
And reading his, he put a Facebook post up later on. He'd started throwing up at 140k on the bike, and I'm not sure at what point he dropped out on the run. And he was moving pretty well, but he'd only been running for a couple of miles, and obviously it was game over for him a little bit after that.
Oh no! So was it a sickness bug, Rob? Do you think, or just?
I don't know. I mean, it's always hard to tell, isn't it? Has he eaten and drunk a bit too much on the bike, and his body's reacted by throwing it up?
Yep.
When he swam super fast, his swim was a 45-minute swim. So that was him and Harry Wiltshire out the water, probably 5 or 6 minutes ahead of like the eventual winner, Kirill Kostogarov and Marcus Tomska. So it looked like there was a pack of pro men about the 51-minute point. Fraser Cartmell was out in 49, so Fraser's a really good swimmer. To put 4 minutes into him, obviously Harry and Romain gunned it.
Yeah.
So, whether that you can argue as it shut down his stomach, but these guys are pros and they swim this hard all the time, so you wouldn't expect it to.
No.
But still, on that course, that is a seriously quick swim today.
Yeah, that is... Yeah, that's impressive.
It's moving.
Yeah.
So he came tearing by, and then I was thinking, right, well, he's going to have a big lead, isn't he, at this point? And then literally 200 yards behind, we had Marcus Tomska and Kirill Kostogarov come by, and Marcus Tomska was tucked in behind Kirill Kostogarov at this point. There was about a foot difference between the two of them. Marcus Tomska's this tiny little biking dude, and Kirill's a massive sort of strapping 6 foot Estonian. And it looks like Kirill just ran away for the win. He ran a 2:50 in the end, so he put 9 minutes over the course of the marathon into Marcus Tomska. So Kirill Kostogarov took it out overall in 8:41, Marcus Tomska in second in 8:50, and Andrei Vistika in 8:58 overall.
That's good. I don't think I saw. Did I see any of them male pros? Probably not. I don't think I did.
They'd have been so tucked in amongst the crowds and stuff at that point. You'd probably just concentrating on your own race, weren't you?
Something like that. No, I don't know. Would they have finished?
Keeping your eyes on the road.
Would they have finished at that point? That's what I don't know.
No, you were on the road at the same time they were, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to give you again here, right? So last year's time for the men, just again putting Kirill's time up there. David McNamee won in 8:46. So yeah, and Kirill,
solid performance.
Yeah, Kirill won in 8:41. So that's 5 minutes faster.
So we did a bit of research about him, didn't we? He was the guy who.
Yeah, right. Do you remember that amazing photo finish or sprint finish between 3 athletes at Ironman Chattanooga last September?
Yeah.
And they were like 3 of them collapsed on the line because they all had this crazy sprint finish at the end of what?
That's right, yeah.
8 hours of racing. So Kirill's the one who won.
Got ya. So the photo here on the competitor website has got him like arms in the air, can't believe it. And the guy behind him, who did he beat in the sprint finish? Matt Chabot.
Yeah, that's right.
Matt Chabot was crumpled on the ground with his head in his hands. And Stefan Schmidt came in a few seconds after them.
That's right.
But that's bonkers, isn't it, for a sprint finish after that far?
Yeah. Really, really crazy. So, that is Kirill.
Yeah, good. Well, I'll tell you what, hats off to Torsten at tryrating.com because he predicted Kirill to finish 4th behind Fraser Cartmel, who obviously didn't have a good day. Michael Raylett didn't race. Roman Guillaume dropped out. And he predicted Kirill Kostogarov to finish in 8:44. So he wasn't far off with Andrei Vistika behind him in 8:46. So, yeah,
Torsten's
good work
on
on
it.
the old... He is on it with his stats. Maybe you guys should go and check this out in the lead up to future races. He should expand this to age groupers as well. That'd be awesome.
Because he doesn't have enough work on his plate already.
Yeah, you said it.
Oh no! So that was absolutely brilliant results at Ironman UK and a really good day. And Rob, you know there were only I think 6 pro women on the start line. One of them dropped out. That's right, isn't it? So,
yeah, I think so.
5.
And then there was one of them Vicky Gill finished way down.
Yeah.
She looked like she was having a hard time on the run when we saw her.
Yeah, I saw her after the race actually, and I said, "Oh, hello, I'm Helen." And she had a real nightmare with her bike the day before. So basically,
really?
yeah. So I think her headset had broken or something like that. So they had to like she was on a borrowed bike. So she said she started cramping really badly from around 80 miles.
Oh man!
So then that wouldn't
poor
have
girl.
helped
That's a
going
nightmare,
into
isn't
the
it?
run. And then I think it was a bit of, do I carry on or do I just call it a day? And then I think she thought everyone's hurting out there.
Good for her.
If I carry on, obviously she gets a bit of money.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, there you go.
We've also got to give a shout out, I think, that the thing that totally surprised me as I was walking along, there was an age grouper in 4th place off the bike. So I was thinking, what's going on here? And an Irish chap called Brian McChrystal,
Yeah.
he outsplit all the male pros by nearly 10 minutes on the bike. He finished in 5th overall.
Wow.
He swam 57, he biked 4:44, so he's put basically 8 minutes into the winner and Marcus Tomska, which is just mind-blowing, and ran 3:15 to pull out a 9:05 overall.
Now, we've mentioned him a few times, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Yeah. He's an uber athlete, isn't he?
He's next on my list to hunt down and get an interview
Great.
with. And also a couple of places behind him, these two were either side of Harry Wiltshire, to give you an idea of how well they performed, was Brian Fogarty, who you'll remember had a storming bike performance at the Chester Half Ironman
Yep.
about 4 weeks ago, where he outsplit Chris Standage by, I can't remember now, it was 5 or 8 minutes or something over 90k, which, Chris can ride, man. So Brian Fogarty rode 4:54, so again, right up there with the pro male bike splits. And I gave him a shout as he came by. He's got a big bushy beard, and come on, Brian. He said, I listened to your podcast. So hello, Brian, if you're listening. Super performance from him, a 3:11 on the run to close it out for 9:12 overall and 7th place overall. So brilliant performance.
That's great. There are 2 other people, Rob, that I would like to give a little shout out to. Now, one of them is Paul Herden, who I think he's in Preston Tri Club, and he crossed the finish line just before me, but beat me by a good few minutes. He sort of said, oh, you're Helen. And we had a little chat. I wasn't really with it. But anyway, he said he's a really big listener of the show. So, yeah, well done, Paul. And then, Caroline, who we had on a few weeks ago, Caroline Bramwell, who was talking about how...
Ionostomy.
That's the one, ionostomy. So Caroline said that she didn't finish yesterday. She said,
oh, what a shame.
She said she got real bad cramp on the swim, but she said she got up to mile, I think it was 95 on the bike before she got swept up. But she said she had an absolute blast. So I think...
Awesome stuff.
Yeah,
she'll be back.
I think she'll be back. And I just think so inspiring, and she will have inspired so many people. And again, it's that whole, if you don't think something's possible, actually it is. So yeah brilliant.
Good for her.
Really, really cool. Yeah, Rob, there were loads of quite a few people going, come on, fist pump of joy. You listeners out there.
Listeners who'd identified the shorts.
Yeah.
Helen's shorts of joy.
Yeah, Helen's orange shorts of joy. Susie Cheatham,
nice, man.
Had said, it's all right to get changed in T2. So I took that on board, got changed, went for the orange shorts.
There you go. Loving it. All right, a couple of other shout-outs here for us as well. Nick Rose won the male 45 category. He's an old pal of mine, and he did a really good job. And a couple of minutes later, Joe Duckworth was second in the male 45 as well. He was on a triathlon coaches course I ran a couple of weeks ago, so he ran out of his skin to take second, and I'm so pleased to see him get his Kona slot. He was saying, I think if I can go 10:20, I might be in with a shout of a slot here. And he went 10:16.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and actually got the slot, solid in second place, closed with a 3:16 marathon, which is significantly faster than the people who were running around him. So that's impressive stuff.
Yeah.
And good old Warren Mason as well finally gets his age group win in the male 55 category.
I saw Warren Mason. So for those who don't know Warren Mason, Warren is a really, really good age group athlete and just an all-round good bloke. Completely mental, but a really good guy. And I saw him on the run, and he was looking really strong. I did check him.
I've aged him. It's the male 50 category, not the male. Sorry, Warren. The male 50s.
He gave me a bit of banter, Rob. I was up the road from him after the swim, and he came past me. And he was like, "How the hell did you get here?" And then he flew beyond.
To which he replied, "Because I've been swimming my ass off for the last 4 years." So at 50 years old, Warren finally gets the age group win, and 10:29 overall. That's impressive stuff, man. 5:30 on the bike at 50 years old. That's good, man. Well done.
Amazing. Another one, former interviewee, Reece Barkley. We had him on the show, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago? He got second in his age group. He did 9:50.
Oh, I hope he gets his slot with that. I think there'll only be one slot in his age group.
Don't know.
Fingers crossed for him. He was going well as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, let's go to Challenge Roth, and then we shall interview Helen Murray.
Great. Oh my God, Roth. Rob, if you didn't want to be in Bolton, you wanted to be in Roth.
You wanted to be in Roth. What a performance. It's got to be said, hasn't it? What a performance from Jan Frodeno.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Legend.
So if you haven't heard yet, he smashed the world record by, 5 minutes?
6 minutes.
Yeah, he did a 7:35. 7:35.
So in a world where going just under sub 8 hours is the mark of you are an incredibly talented male triathlete, that just puts... I mean, there was a time, wasn't there, when Ray Lert set 7:41, that was a step change. That was a 10-minute world record smashing, wasn't it? I think it went down from 7:50 to 7:41, and then, or I might be wrong with that actually. I think it had gone down to 7:45 just at Austria, hadn't it, when Marino went 7:45, and then it went to 7:41. But to go 7:35, I think we must be getting to the point where, are we at the limit of how fast people can go at the moment?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I always think that people can push themselves a little bit faster, and then technology on the bike as well will continue to help chip away marginal gains at those times.
Well, apparently, believe this or not, I think there's talk that he had some kind of crash on the bike, that he came off. They said a minor crash. Now, how you have a minor crash?
There you go, exactly. So that's another 2 minutes.
Isn't it just? So 45-minute swim. All the talk before the race was how the organisers were determined this was going to be a legit world record. They wanted extra marshals to say he's not sitting behind the pace car, he's not sitting behind the motorbikes. They had extra marshals to make sure this world record was legit. And in the sort of run up to the race, there was talk he was going to draft somebody on the swim. Somebody was going to blast round, and there were pictures on Slow Twitch of him swimming with his training partner Nick Castellian. And they were swimming stroke for stroke, and everyone kind of said, you know, I think this is what Macca did when he set his record. He sat on somebody's feet, but apparently he just swam away from his training partner. So clear minute ahead of everyone on the swim with 45:22.
God.
Yeah. And then out onto the bike of 4:08 on the bike. So it's on at this point, but Rayler had a quick run, but that doesn't matter to Frodeno. 2:39 on the run. 2:39.18. So we're now officially into the realms, aren't we, of having swum faster, biked faster, and run faster than anybody else. Yeah. It's a solo effort all day. That it's just hats off to the guy.
Wow. Honestly, I'm when I saw it, I was like, wow, that is impressive. I saw someone say, oh my God, he finished the whole thing in 7:35. That was quicker than my bike split at Bolton.
Yeah. It's nuts, isn't it?
Really, really nuts.
Bring him out to Triathlon X. Give him an honest course. See how he does there.
No, he is just a superb athlete.
Yeah. Now, talking of superb athletes, in second place, we are proud that friend of the show, Joe Skipper, managed to race himself onto the podium, onto second place. He was 6th off the bike, and he really had to battle for it, Helen.
Oh, but he did it.
He did it, yeah. He closed with a race best 2:38.50 run.
Joe Skipper, you're a hero. You are a hero.
He certainly is. He's a legend, man. So a 52-minute swim for him, so a decent swim. He's obviously moved his swimming up a game there, hasn't he? Because that's a lot faster than he did last year. 4:20 on the bike, and then this 2:38.50 run, which I think has got to be one of the fastest recorded run splits, hasn't it? Not many people have gone in the 30s on a legit course.
Honestly, and to do that, though, off the bike after a really good bike split as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic.
And obviously Joe's been biking solo the whole time. He's had to ride through the field, and there's a lot of talk of how there's a big advantage to being in the lead at Roth, because although you're not drafting the lead cars, they're moving the age groupers out of the way for you on the second lap.
Yeah, I remember him saying in his interview with us.
Yeah. So he's had to ride that himself, and he's obviously not even caught the pack during the bike ride. He's still run through people during the run. And he apparently got to the shoulder of Nils Fromholm with a K to go. And they had a head-to-head mano-a-mano, which Joe won to take that second place.
Oh, so I'm so happy for him.
That is just a fantastic performance, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he'll actually make some money from that as well, because there's good prize money at Roth, so maybe you won't be living on baked beans for the next few months.
Hopefully not. No, it just and obviously Joe had very publicly said, I am going for the British record. I am going to go sub 8. So to pull that off in such a great fashion. Yeah.
Is he the first British athlete to go sub 8?
Yeah, I think so.
Is he the first ever? Because Tom
didn't
8 hours flat, didn't he?
Joe now has the British record.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's just brilliant.
Great. So Jan Frodeno won in 7:35.39. Joe was second in 7:56.23, and Niels Fromhold third in 7:57.49.
Awesome stuff. Now then, it wasn't just the male race that was going nuts, was it?
No. So Daniela Ryf, after pulling out a 20k on the bike in Frankfurt, sort of, rocks up
and being hospitalised for
Yes.
a week. Let's not forget that. It wasn't that she just dropped out. She was
got
in bed with hypothermia, wasn't she?
Yep. So, rocks up in Roth, just saying, I want to race. And, oh man, boy, does she race. She did 8:22. 8:22. She absolutely whooped Chrissy's course record.
Did Chrissy go 8:35 there?
I think so.
That's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. No, 10 minutes. 10 minutes faster Reef did. So Chrissy must have done a 4:41 and Daniela Reef biked a 4:31.
Oh, I see. 10 minutes faster on the bike
Yes,
than Chrissy had
yes,
gone.
yes.
Got you, because this is where Chrissy set the world record, wasn't
Yes, so Chrissy's world record still stands at 8:18.
it? 8:17.
Yeah, but Reef was only 4 minutes slower overall.
So 10 minutes faster on the bike.
Yeah.
So there were tweets out from a coach saying apparently she's decided to not stick to the game plan, which just made me laugh. Apparently she's not staying calm on the bike. So yeah, that's a real warning shot to everyone for Kona, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. She's still got to validate her slot, hasn't she?
Yeah.
So
Which is kind of insane, isn't it?
because it's Zurich next weekend, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you're kind of going, well, okay, you appreciate someone's got to do something in the year between the race Kona to prove they're in shape and worthy of the slot. But for the corporation to say challenge races don't count, I think is just a bit daft.
Yeah, full on daft.
Got to get it together.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if she's is she in shape? Well, no, let's make her go to Switzerland.
Just to get around 140.
Trundle round in, like for her, whatever it'll be, 10 hours or something.
Yeah, insane.
Just crazy.
So she took the win in 8:22. She did a first sub-3 marathon as well for her, by the way. So again,
wow. So it's best ever run for her after that bike as well. Wow.
So she'd have ran a 2:57. Carrie Lester was second in 8:42. Yvonne van Vlerken 8:49 third. And then Laura Siddle, friend of the show again, 8:51.59 for fourth. Yeah, absolutely.
That is a massive PB for her, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't that brilliant?
That is fantastic.
Yeah, happy days. Laura, well done.
Laura, we salute you.
Yeah. Great, isn't it?
That's really awesome. We got a photo through of her, actually. She took a photo of one of the guys who was racing for Team Oxygen Addict.
She did. She
sent it through.
She was going selfie crazy.
I think it was with Brett, and I was like, good on you. Really kind of you. Thanks, Laura. We'll have her back on as well to hear about this massive PB. That's fantastic.
Yep. It's great, isn't it? So, yeah, well done to everyone racing in Roth as well. I think I saw Jane Hansen, age grouper extraordinaire.
Did she not do a PB by
50 minutes? And I think, was it 9:38, I want to say? Wow. I have to find out right now. And I don't get it wrong.
She was in the overall female race then.
Yeah, 9:38.
That's incredibly good.
Yeah. A new PB by about 50 minutes. Coach is happy. Not as happy as me, though. I'm off to drink some beer.
Yes, I don't imagine beer's played a massive part in her preparations for this. Well done, Jane. That's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think so she's coached by Brett Sutton as well. And it was an interesting. He says Jane Handsome is the equivalent of the 45 to 49-year-old version of the Angry Bird, and he nicknamed Daniela Ryf the Angry Bird. # super talent.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. So.
All right, let's get her on.
Well done, Jane.
Well done, Jane. Yeah, good stuff. Wow. So we've covered the pro race at UK and Roth, and we've covered some age groupers as well. And it's time to hear Helen's story, isn't it, Hels?
Oh, yeah.
I think we need the backstory to this, don't we? Because obviously, I think we've talked a lot about the fact that you were going to go and do this race, and you obviously had high hopes for it. And then I don't think a lot of people realise the state of play you were in with your Achilles 4 weeks ago.
No. So, was it now? It was 6 weeks ago, wasn't it? I went to the physio
Yeah.
and I was hobbling and he diagnosed a partial tear. So then I didn't run at all for 3 weeks. Then I went,
So this is 6 weeks out to 3 weeks out from the race,
yep.
isn't it?
So now 3 weeks out to the race, I went back to the physio with the results of a scan, which had showed that whatever had been there, it didn't look like there was any scarring or a tear, like it had cleared up. So then the physio said, you can start running again. But I wasn't convinced that it was particularly strong at that point. I just thought if I go crazy, I'm going to, I'll be back to square one. So in my mind, I just wanted to get to the start line and then see if I could, if I could start the run. I didn't even think I would be starting the run, Rob. 3 weeks ago, I had said, I'm going to go there and I'm going to swim and bike and I'm going to pull out.
Well, that was always the plan, wasn't it? We said, look, it looks like you're not going to be able to run, so you can't get your money back, so let's go and do a swim and a bike, and let's just take things day by day with the running.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think this is a great story for people out there who are suffering with injuries, because you literally started out with going out and jogging for 30 seconds and walking for a minute, didn't you? And doing that for, like 10 minutes the first day?
Yes. Yeah. And then I think,
and
the
we had
second
3
day?
weeks to build it up.
Yeah.
You did a minute and a minute off.
Yep.
And then 2 minutes and 2 minutes off.
Yep. Yeah.
And so there must have been only, what did we have you run? About 9 times in 3 weeks?
I think so. And I got up to 4 minutes.
4 minutes of running
with a minute off. So a minute of walking for an hour on the Saturday before. So 7 days out from the race.
So that puts it in perspective how much your body holds on to fitness, doesn't it? The fact that for the 6 weeks before the race, your only significant run was a 1 hour, 4 minutes jog, 1 minute walk at about 9 minute miles or something.
Yeah.
A week out from race day.
Yeah.
So we were a little bit nervous come the race day to see. Well, actually, we weren't, were we? Because we had a plan. It was anything foot powered as a bonus at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
that was the key to it, right?
I think that was the key. But clearly in the back of your mind, you sort of try to think, hey, let's just pretend I don't even have an injury, and it might start hurting at mile 5. So I may as well try and run or give it a go. So then I don't think, oh, I wish I had tried a little bit harder.
Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? And I knew I got a text off Helen. Was it the day before the race or 2 days before the race? It might have been the day before the race,
yep.
And it said, just out of interest, how fast did you think I could run the marathon at Ironman UK if I hadn't got injured? And I was like, oh yeah, here we go. But I had a little think before I replied, and I thought, well, even if you do go out and run at the marathon pace we think you'd have run at, it's still not fast running.
No.
It's still going to be, Ironman marathon run pace for you. I thought you could run a 3:40. So to put it in perspective, it was about 8-10 a mile, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we knew that the kind of speed of running that was going to hurt it was down in the 6 minutes a mile range. So I thought, right, it's probably not going to be any more of a danger running 8:10s than running 9:10s.
No.
So I told you, and you replied, I think I might run at that pace.
Or at least try. It didn't really last very long. But because given that 3 weeks ago I didn't even think I'd get there, I just wanted to sort of do everything justice and do all the hard work. I wanted to come away feeling satisfied. And I thought, if I run, I don't know, 9.5 minute miles and I get to the end and I am not in pain, well, then I'll feel really annoyed that I possibly could have tried to run a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I may as well give it a go. Just for information, I did not stick to 8-10 minute miles. I went off far too fast. It was running.
As you came by me, I was like, yeah, that's not 8:10s, that's 7:10s.
It was like, oh, oops. Oh, no, I'm not doing very well here on my pacing. But then when the hills start after that, well, quite frankly, pacing went out the window. But hey.
Yeah, well, that is the most difficult course in the world to pace on because there's not a stretch of flat on it where you can get any kind of accurate reading from your Garmin, and it's almost like you've got to take a split across the whole lap to work out what kind of pace you're running, and by then it's probably too late, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
But
but hey, still, so let's go back, right? Start of the swim.
yes,
You're in good swim shape.
yep,
I thought given a fast slash short swim on the day, you'd swim 65. And then when I saw the times of people like Reece Barkley swam a 52, and I was thinking, right, well, if it was fast, he'd be in a 48. So it's not a fast day. And Damo got out in 102, and I was thinking, well, I was expecting him to swim 60. That's about right. He's about 2 minutes down, so it's not a fast day. So Helen will be out in about 69, something like that.
yep.
And there you are at 65 minutes. So how did that work then? Where did you seed yourself in the rolling start?
So I seeded myself in the, I think around the 105. I saw a sign for 105 and I was like, oh, that'll do. I'll just sort of stand here because I was panic toilet visiting at the very last minute. And then I thought, oh my God, how the hell do I get in the pen? There was like barriers everywhere. So I had to climb over the barrier to get in the pen. And I just thought, oh, it'll be fine. I won't get bashed around too much. And there wasn't.
Because that's it. That's the 105 is you're right in the thick of it there, aren't you?
Yeah, so there was a little bit of bashing about, but I kind of thought, stuff it, just stick with it, just go for it. And yeah, I think I failed on drafting quite a lot, but equally I did. There were moments where I knew I was doing all right at drafting, sitting on someone's hip, or it kind of felt like they were on my hip, whatever. So I think there was a group that I seemed to be somehow swimming with at one point. And yeah, I just kept, I don't know, I just kept.
Did you feel like the rolling start worked?
Yeah, the rolling start.
Was there noticeably less people in the water?
Yes, I really liked the rolling start, actually. It was really good.
Okay.
So yeah, big fan of that. You just felt a lot calmer.
Just a lot more space.
Yeah. And on the second lap, you were overtaking people.
Yeah, okay.
But overall, I really liked that rolling start. Definitely.
Yeah.
It took a lot of the stress and the panic out of it.
Yeah, okay, good. And then you're onto the bike.
Yeah, onto the bike, and I felt really, really good actually, Rob, on the bike. The day before, I had been checking the weather, and I'd practiced getting out the shower and then trying to put a cycle top on because I thought that might keep me a little bit warmer than a tri-suit. But then in transition, when I got there first thing in the morning, I thought, no, I think it's okay. I'm going to go for the tri-suit, but I'm going to put gloves on because I have really bad circulation. So I put like winter, they're like a thin pair of winter gloves, and I kept them on for pretty much the whole of the bike leg. And I'm really chuffed that I kept them on because it meant I could change gear. My hand did not get cold, and I have such a problem with cold hands. So that was great, and I think that helped a little bit. I felt really good on the bike. I think wrecking the course was so good. I'm so glad I made the effort to go up there quite a lot and recce it. The crowds up Sheep House were good. The crowds up Hunter's Hill were just awesome. And there was a guy sort of hooting. But it was almost like hooting to the cadence you should try to be riding up that hill. And that really, really helped.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and I just kept smiling. And anyone that wasn't cheering, I'd sort of go, woo, woo, woo. And then they'd soon start cheering. I was having far too much fun. And this one...
Was there a disco going on the top of Sheep House? It looked like
they
had
a disco. Yeah.
Disco lights set up and music and the fancy dress dudes jumping around.
There were a few people up there jumping around, but there weren't that many. It was like a group of about, I don't know, 10 people maybe.
Okay.
Whereas Hunters, there were people all the way up it.
Yeah.
And at the pub at the top. And it was, it just really motivated you to get up that hill. And then Colt Alley as well. That was great. So that's where all the City of Lancaster Tri supporters go, and people at both sides of the road. And again, there's a bit of an incline there, and yeah, it just gets you through it. And there was one moment, Rob, whereby the this guy said to me, "You're the only person smiling going up here." I was like, "Yes, I'm winning on the
Brilliant.
smiles." Yeah,
Brilliant.
I had a good fun. I enjoyed the bike. I did special needs, personal needs, which I hadn't done before. So I picked up a bottle. I picked up a bottle at mile 35 and another bottle at around mile 80. 35, I picked up a peanut butter wrap. And I'm so glad I did that. Mile 80, I had a little bit of peanut butter, and that helped. But other than that, I was just on liquid carbs and gel every sort of 40, 45 minutes, which
Nice.
I don't think I've ever nailed that before. But
you felt like the nutrition was
yep.
was dialed in for this one, yeah?
Yep. So I'm really
Storming bike time, Hells, I've got to say. I texted Rich and I was like, Helen seems to be going nuts on the bike. He's like, she looks really strong. And I was like, well, she's just outsplit such and such over the first timing mat. I was looking at the first timing mat and people were coming in at about like 48, 49 minutes from the guys I was coaching. And there you are at like 48 minutes. And I was like, interesting.
She's going a bit hard.
She's going for it. But, I mean, it paid off, didn't it? You came in at 6:16.
Yep.
You were the second fastest split in your age group, and you were right up there amongst the age group women overall.
Yeah, I don't think I was second fastest in my age group, but I think I had ridden up to second in my age group. I've figured that out now.
Right, okay.
Because I think so. People would have been faster than me out the water.
Well, no, there was the girl who won, Nina Mortensen. She did 6:05, and there was somebody else rode a 6:10, and someone else rode a 6:11.
Yeah, so that's not.
Then you got 6:60. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There was a couple of others as well. Yeah. Fair enough.
But yeah, the girl who did win the age group, she came past, and I was like, "Whoa, she's looking strong."
She's steaming past when she went by you.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, I'm not sticking with her." She was far too strong. But yeah, the bike.
Were you aware of who else was around in your age group as you were riding along?
No, that honestly, I didn't see many women at all for ages. Yeah. I really didn't, and that's always a little bit disconcerting, but at the same time, a massive confidence boost.
Well, I felt like you'd ridden yourself into second and then hadn't seen anybody the rest of the ride. Probably what had happened was she came by you into first and you rode by everybody else because there was only a handful of minutes between you and the 4 or 5 girls out of the water in front of you.
Yeah.
So you probably passed them in that first stretch and then...
I know I passed the girl that eventually beat me by 20 seconds, not at all bitter. I passed her at the beginning of the bike.
Yeah.
And then she was, that was the only one. And then, the Danish girl came past me. The girl that won the age group beneath, she came past me flying, Jenna from Ireland. And then the woman who won the 40 to 44, I think, she came past me as well. But I think that was pretty much it on the bike.
Yeah, so not a huge number of ladies out there. And that was obvious. As I was standing and watching, I was like, wow, there's Helen. There's only been like, a handful of women come through, even including the pros. So it's clear that you were going really well.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Samantha Boswell, who won the 45 to 49, she came past me on the bike. In fact, going up Hunters Hill that first time, I'm pretty sure Mark Livesey was on the side by the pub. I think it was him. And he said, "You're doing really well. You're like top 6 of the, age group women. Keep pushing. You're doing great." I was like, "Oh, wow. Okay."
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's really good.
Yeah.
And then it's onto the run, isn't it? It's all to play for on the run. How was the experience of the run at Bolton then?
I found it quite... I don't want to say easy, but I felt really comfortable. I felt really comfortable up until, here's the caveat, up until about mile 16.
Yeah.
And then 16 to 21, I was like, oh, God, there's still quite a long way to go. And then...
That's the section, isn't it, right there?
Yeah, yeah. And those...
That middle...
Oh, God.
Middle quarter.
And those...
Third quarter.
Horrible hills. And then 21 to 26. Well, by that point, I had been told that my podium place was 1:10 ahead of me. So by that point, I was just like, right, well, I'm just going to run. If the Achilles goes poop, it goes poop, but I've got to give it a go. I didn't quite manage to chase her down. Got to within 21 seconds, Rob. But
yeah, it was. I mean, I think that the slightly annoying thing about this was it all played out differently because of the rolling start.
yes, yep,
So as the actual timing ended up at the end, you were 21 seconds behind her
yeah,
in the overall timing. But at that point, as you started the last lap, we'd just seen her come through. It was Claire Wood, wasn't it?
yeah.
And she'd come through and she'd stopped and gone for a potty break. And me and Rich were like jumping up and down going, yay! Like you shouldn't cheer for someone else's discomfort, should you? Which is terrible. And she came out of the potty just as you came around that corner. So you were 1:20 behind her at that point. And then I think actually you were ahead of her on the road actually at that point. So she then put a bit more time into you during that lap. And as you came through to go to the finish, she was 3 minutes up on you at that point.
Yeah.
On the road,
yeah.
But in real life she was only 20 seconds up. So I think if you'd been racing head to head,
yeah,
you'd have had this experience where she'd have caught you with 2 miles to go and you'd have run side by side, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it is difficult to know, but
this whole virtual racing thing, it was only then that we worked out what was going on and we were like, oh man, like what's just happened there? And the Stephanie Knott person who was second in your age group,
yeah,
again, it was to do with the timing of the swim start because we were like, well, she's miles ahead in terms of time,
yeah.
but the rolling start must have made a big difference.
Yeah, and so I think the rolling start is brilliant for feeling a bit more relaxed and stuff, but for knowing where you are out on the course is dreadful.
Yeah.
But yeah, the run, Rob, the support was just outstanding. I loved it. And there were various people on different points of the course. So some people from Knutsford Tri Club, some people from Hereford Tri Club, other friends. My mum and dad were at a different point on the course. So every few K, there'd be someone cheering me on. And that made such a big difference. And there was a massive gang from Rochdale Tri Club.
Yeah, I saw that.
They were great. They were really, really good. So yeah, I did enjoy the run for the support. I found it really hard going for that second to last 5 miles. I didn't feel pain in my Achilles, but
most important thing.
Yeah, I mean there were 1 or 2 points and I thought, oh, is that going to start hurting? But no. And the bit along the canal, that was nice and flat, wasn't it?
It's the only bit that is.
Yeah. So no, overall, I just enjoyed it, Rob. And that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to feel like all of the hard work was worth it. And I wanted to enjoy it. And I made sure I had a little deal with Laura Siddle that I would outsmile her. So she would race Roth and smile. And I was going to try and smile more at Bolton. Yeah, and I tried.
So listen, overall you ended up 11 hours 28.
Yep.
You were 4th in your age group.
Yep.
And you were 10th lady overall.
Yes, I was. So 6th age
top 10
super and 10th female.
And as we said, 21 seconds off that magical 3rd place podium. But you know what? At the end of the day, when you put it into the perspective of we didn't think you could even run a few weeks ago.
No. I'm really
just
happy.
completing a marathon and looking so strong, I think is the best thing that happened, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I'm really, 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 really happy. Really happy.
Super awesome. Well done. Well done on behalf of all the listeners, Helen. We're all giving you fist pumps of joy for getting through it.
Thank you. And thank you so much to everyone for all of the messages and all the congratulations and anyone who's out on the course cheering us on. It was great and I'm really, really grateful. And yeah, it was a fab experience.
It's good to hear. Right, we've just got a little bit of upcoming races to do before we wrap the show up for today. Coming up this weekend, we have both Ironman Zurich and Ironman Lake Placid.
Yes,
so
we do.
Over in Zurich, we've got the question of, is Ronnie Shildnick gonna win for the... Oh, God, how many's he got? Has he got 8 in a row?
Oh, I don't know.
I think this would be his 9th win. It's hard to keep track, isn't it? He's absolutely dominated this race. Yeah, we'll have to see. And will Daniela Reef turn up and validate her slot?
I reckon she will. Don't you?
Oh, well, she's going to have to get around an Ironman at some point.
If she doesn't do that, she'd have to do Copenhagen. Or
she could have sore legs, though, isn't she, the week after Roth?
Yeah, really sore legs. Yeah.
So she's the favourite at the minute, but that's probably not going to play out, I think. I can't see her winning it, just trying to go around and validate.
No. And it would almost be silly to...
Yeah.
To try to...
You never know, though, with a super athlete like that, maybe she'll bounce back in a week and she'll just feel comfortable going around. And the athletes she's racing against, she's got Michaela Hurlbauer, Natasha Badman, Kristen Muller. So
Emma Billam as well.
Emma Billam's there as well, is she?
Yeah.
Good. So we'll see how she goes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Ronnie Shieldnick facing Timo Bracht and Clemente Alonso McKernan. So, and Matt Troutman as well. So it's got some stiff competition there to face.
Yes. That is... Troutman's not racing.
Oh, has he dropped out?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
He's not racing,
He's announced he's not racing.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, we shall see. All right. Well, that's just about all the time we've got for this week, isn't it?
I think so. I'm going to sleep and sort out dirty wetsuits and that kind of thing, and eat chocolate digestive biscuits.
Good for you, mate. Well, listen, on behalf of everybody, we're really proud of you.
Thanks.
Well done. It was an epic battle just to get you to the start line, and I'm super proud of that performance. And you've come an incredibly long way since 2012. And to get yourself to that point where, 4th in your age group and 10th overall, I think is an amazing performance. And I'm going to give you a few days to think about whether you're going to do another one before I ask you.
Yeah, give me a good few days. Oh, God. Yeah, give me a few days.
All right, nice one. Listen, you've been listening to the Cup of Triathlon podcast. I'm Rob Wilby.
I'm Helen Murray.
And join in again next week when we'll have the results from Switzerland and Lake Placid, and also from the Outlaw, the great British event that isn't branded. So we look forward to hearing about that too. Until next week, cheers.